oh boy, we're going to have a lot to talk about tonight for your Money in the Bank review right here on the Big Fight Field channel. Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on, everybody? This is Joseph Conlon coming to you with your Money in the Bank review on Sunday, May 10th, 2020. Eddie is not here tonight. He's got a headache during the show, so he did not want to come on with a headache. So as fine with me. Hopefully we will make that up and get him here on the channel next week, maybe for AEW Dynamite to talk about. Hopefully he feels better soon. But as for Money in the Bank, this was a solid show overall. I thought it wasn't perfect by what any means, but it was not a bad pay-per-view. And overall, I thought Money in the Bank was a solid show. If I had to give it a grade, I would probably give it, say, a B- for a few reasons. And we'll get to those few reasons. But overall, I enjoyed myself tonight. I got some great laughs from the Money in the Bank ladder match. That was absolutely fantastic, I thought. I thought both ladder matches were fantastic, and so did Eddie. He thought both ladder matches were really, really good stuff. We will talk about both ladder matches. Asuka winning the women's ladder match, and Otis, yes, Otis, won the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. My thoughts on Otis and Asuka winning, we'll get to that at the end. I don't even want to say, you guys know what to do though. You guys know what to do. I don't even want to say, go watch my recent videos, because I just want to dive right in to Money in the Bank. But you guys probably already know what to do. To go check out my recent videos here on the channel. But man, without further ado, let's start with the Money in the Bank review. And to save time, I'm not going to talk about the kickoff show, which was Jeff Hardy versus Cesaro. So we're going to start with the Fatal 4-Way Smackdown Tag Team Championship match with The New Day, the Lucha House Party, The Miz and Morrison, and the Forgotten Sons. And I actually thought that this was a really good Fatal 4-Way match to start the show. You got some great action in the ring from all teams. The Lucha House Party, they looked really good. They're a really underrated team, and they're not taken seriously, which I hate. They got the stupid Lucha House Party pinata gimmick, and I wish that didn't happen. But guys are really good, and they put out a good show tonight. Forgotten Sons looked okay. One part of the match that I did not like, I would say the one thing I didn't like about this match was when Big E was going for his spear, I believe onto Morrison, or one of the Forgotten Sons. I think it was Morrison, but Big E went for one of the spears, and Jackson Ryker pulled the rope down. And the ref saw it, and the ref kicked Jackson Ryker out of the match. Now, I don't know why the referee would kick Jackson Ryker out of the match. Did the referee not know that a Fatal 4-Way match was no disqualification? I'm just saying, I thought that was pretty stupid. But at the end, the Big E hit the belly-to-belly on the Grand Metalik, while Kofi gave Lince Dorado a Trouble in Paradise, and the New Day pinned the Lucha House Party to retain the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. I thought this was a really good contest. Yes, the New Day, as much as I hate to say it, the New Day was the correct result to win this match. It was too early for the Forgotten Sons. The Lucha House Party are jobbers, and they're just automatic. They just get a tag team shot for some reason. And the Miz and Morrison have already won the tag team title, so what's the point of giving them what's the point of having them drop the tag team titles if you're just going to give them back to them? The New Day was the correct result here, and this is only going to set up the New Day versus the Forgotten Sons for Backlash. So that's my thoughts on that. R-Truth versus not MVP. It was promoted to be R-Truth versus MVP. But it ended up being Bobby Lashley, as R-Truth was making jokes with MVP, making balling jokes, which is actually pretty funny. I got a laugh out of that. And Bobby Lashley came out and he told MVP to take the night off. So MVP went to the back. So they made him dress for no reason. And Bobby Lashley beat R-Truth in about a minute. I really want to know, did anybody care about this match? Because I know I didn't. And I'm glad this match was over in 1 minute. What are they doing for Bobby Lashley here? What are they doing for Bobby Lashley? I don't know if they're setting him up for a big match, but the only thing I would hope that WWE is doing for Bobby Lashley is setting him up for a match at SummerSlam against Brock Lesnar. If that happens, then I guess all this Bobby Lashley stuff is worth it. I guess. But I have no idea, man. I hope that's the direction that WWE is going, and we get Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley at SummerSlam. That's the way to go. Smackdown Women's Championship on the line. Tamina versus Bayley. The best part about this match between Tamina Snuka and Bayley was Sasha Banks. Because Sasha Banks had a beautiful red outfit on, and she was stunning to look at, I would say the least. She looked absolutely gorgeous tonight, did Sasha Banks. But besides that, I mean, this match was garbage. What'd you expect to be? The match was absolutely garbage. Tamina sucks. Tamina looked very sloppy. Sometimes Bayley did too. But Tamina, for the most part, looked very, very sloppy. Not so good super kicks. I guess they were okay. And then she had trouble getting on the top rope, losing her balance, and then just the ending was very sloppy as well. Tamina was very, very sloppy at the end, where she just held on to Bayley at the end and she picked her up for a Samoa drop, and Sasha hit her in the knee and they took out Tamina at the match. So, in my mind, Bayley got the cheap way out of this match against Tamina. The match was garbage too. The match was garbage. Bayley snuck her way out of this match against Tamina. What does that tell you? The feud's not over. The feud between Tamina and Bayley is not over on SmackDown. And Tamina should be as far away as possible from that SmackDown Women's Championship. Because she don't belong to be there. She doesn't belong to be there. And she proved it tonight that she doesn't belong to be there. Because she looked atrocious. She looked atrocious. This was by far the worst match of the card. And I don't think anybody's surprised. We then saw Braun Strowman defend the Universal Championship against Mr. Rogers, Bray Wyatt. There's a lot to say about this match. There's a lot to say about this. I don't really know how to feel about this one, to be honest. The match wasn't good. We all knew that going into it, that the match wasn't going to be good. And at the end of the day, that match wasn't good. But I feel like the ending of this match was great. I loved the ending to it. You got Bray Wyatt, who threw Braun Strowman into the steps. And Bray's just sitting there in the ring, waiting for the 10 count. And then all you see is Braun Strowman wearing the black sheep. Now we all knew where this was going, but Braun Strowman was wearing the black sheep. He was standing on the outside of the ring. Bray was laughing. He said, "I knew you'd come home. You knew what's right," and the puppets are out there all happy. that Braun is coming home to Bray Wyatt. So, Bray's in the ring. Braun is coming into the ring. He's got the black sheep on. And he says, "You're home. You made the right decision." Bray Wyatt drops to his knees. And Braun Strowman drops to his knees as well. And he's got his hands out like this. Like Bray Wyatt used to do in the old days. Bray Wyatt's got his hands out. He's laughing. He's happy. The puppets are celebrating. Being happy with Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt gets back up. Braun Strowman's still on his knees. And Braun Strowman gets back up. And they go to hug. Michael Cole and Corey Graves, they don't know what's happening. They actually played up really good to this scene with Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman. They played up really good to it. And then Braun Strowman pushes Bray away. He pushes away Bray Wyatt. Bray looks confused. Braun takes off the sheep mask, lays it on the ground, and he stomps the mask. He stomps the black sheep mask. He picks up Bray Wyatt, gives him a running power slam, and Braun Strowman retains the Universal Championship. I'm not mad. I'm mad at the outcome. Trust me, I knew it was happening, but still, I knew I was going to be mad at the outcome. But this is all going to lead to Bray Wyatt going to his psychotic head. The Fiend is going to come out for Braun Strowman. The Fiend is out for Braun Strowman. I would not be surprised if we saw The Fiend on Smackdown this coming Friday. And I honestly wouldn't be surprised if The Fiend Bray Wyatt versus Braun Strowman for the Universal Championship gets confirmed for Backlash. I would not be surprised about that whatsoever. Again, the match sucked. But I really liked the finish. The finish was great. And overall, because of the finish, this wasn't bad. This really wasn't bad. I bet you Bray Wyatt probably came up with this finish. And Vince McMahon was like, okay, whatever you say. I think. That's what I would be predicting. But we all know where this is leading to. That The Fiend is going to come out and he's going to take the championship from Braun Strowman at Backlash. So that is that with Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt. The feud is not over. It's far from over, actually. WWE Championship. Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre. Now, before I talk about the match, R.I.P. Second Coming. Seth Rollins has a new theme song, and it sounds very organic. Ever since CFOs left the WWE and creating theme music for their superstars has been trash. It's been straight trash. It's just facts. It's facts. Don't argue with me on that. We haven't had one good theme song in WWE made since CFOs has left. That's my opinion. So Seth Rollins comes out to a Messiah music, and it sounds organic, like I said. But the match was awesome. This match between Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre was everything we could have asked for it. This was physical. This was hard-hitting. They told a great story. And Drew McIntyre, at the end of this, looked like a beast, in my opinion. He looked like a beast. Kicked out the curb stomp. He got hit with the Falcon Arrow, a suplex into a Falcon Arrow. And then Seth was on the top turnbuckle. Drew was stuck. Drew threw Seth Rollins behind him. He moved out of the way for the Claymore. Seth Rollins gave him a super kick. Drew came back for the Claymore, and Drew McIntyre retained the WWE Championship over Seth Rollins. Awesome match. Then after the match, Drew goes to shake Seth Rollins' hand, and Seth Rollins shakes Drew McIntyre's hand. Shake Seth Rollins' hand. Eddie said that the match had great storytelling, and he loved the handshake. And what could it mean for Seth? Where does Seth go from here? Was his question. I don't know. Clearly, him and chasing the championship from Drew McIntyre is over, because Drew McIntyre beat him clean as a whistle tonight. He beat him clean as a whistle. But Drew McIntyre so far has had a decent run as the WWE champion, and putting on matches like this, heck, that's gonna make Drew McIntyre's championship reign better. Having matches like this. Seth Rollins had one good match as the Universal Champion. That was with AJ Styles last year at Money in the Bank. Now, the only downward spiral that Drew McIntyre can have in his WWE Championship run is if they put him with Jinder Mahal. And I don't mean to give you guys nightmares. I'm sorry if you lose sleep tonight, but I'm thinking Jinder Mahal is the next guy in line. Even though he's done nothing. Jinder Mahal has done nothing to get a WWE Championship match. I see him the next in line for Drew McIntyre. So that's that. I thought this match was awesome. And I thought this was the match of the night. Up until we got the ladder match. The cinematic Money in the Bank ladder match. Filmed really good. I love the cinematic style matches. So, the men made their entrances into the gym, and the women made their entrances into the lobby. I gotta admit, did they really need to make entrances? It kind of looked corny, like Carmella moonwalking in front of Nia Jax. Like, why couldn't Nia Jax just push Carmella out the way? That looked really stupid. And then the men, they made, I don't know. I just really didn't like the entrances there, but the men started in the gym. We'll talk about the men first. So they started in the gym. Ray went after Aleister Black. AJ went after Otis. And Bryan went after Baron Corbin. Corbin took a weight, tried to throw it at Bryan. Bryan ducked, and Corbin shattered the wall. And then Bryan attacked Corbin. Otis was going at it at AJ Styles. He was slamming AJ Styles into, it looked like to be a like where paper towels come down and you wash your hands with. He threw him into that, and then Otis placed a weight bar with weights onto AJ Styles, and AJ Styles couldn't escape. He told Rey Mysterio to help him, and Rey Mysterio ran away. And then on the women, they don't know where Asuka is when she makes her entrance. Asuka is on top of the lounge, and she jumps onto all the women, and then Asuka runs into the elevator, and the women don't get to her in time. So then we see Bryan, Otis, Corbin, Aleister Black running in the hallway. Rey Mysterio is running in the hallway. He's stopped. Rey Mysterio is stopped in the hallway. He's by the bathroom, and he hears a toilet flush. And out comes Bruce Pritchard. I love you. Bruce Pritchard, who ruins Friday nights every week, comes out and he tells Rey Mysterio, I love you. So that Rey runs, and then they're all going at it, and the women, and then the men first are fighting near the elevators. The elevator opens, and Bryan, Otis, Corbin, and Aleister Black are all fighting in the elevator. I kind of laughed at that. That was funny. And And then the women are fighting near the elevator doors. They're trying to block the elevator door. It was Shayna, Lacey Evans, and Dana Brooke blocking the elevator door. And the men come out, and the women don't know what to do. Asuka then comes out of the next elevator. She tries to hide, but she's running down the hallway. She gets caught by Shayna Baszler, and then we don't see Asuka for a few minutes until then. Then we see AJ Styles looking for Rey Mysterio. He's looking for Rey Mysterio in the hallway. He tries every door. Poster sign. He sees a poster sign of Rey Mysterio. And then in the hallway, he sees a poster sign of The Undertaker. And then he opens the door, and it's got The Undertaker blue writing, and it's got 2 caskets in there. So that brought back flashbacks to the Boneyard match at WrestleMania, which I really liked that part of the match. Then he turns around, and Aleister Black kicks him in the face, and he closes the door with AJ Styles in it. So he closes the door with Styles in it, and then we see Paul Heyman. We see Paul Heyman sitting down eating food. He's got this huge, gigantic tray of food spread across the table. And then we see the men come running on one side and the women on the other. And they're bickering. And Paul Heyman says, "Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman. Otis is eating a piece of bread. Everyone's staring at him. Otis yells, 'Food fight!' He takes a big tray of food and he throws it at Paul Heyman's face. I died at that. I was dying. That was so freaking funny, man. Otis was really funny in this match. Otis was actually really good in this match. I'd say he was the MVP of the men's match. Wink. So then the men and the women are doing a food fight. Shayna Baszler is choking Rey Mysterio. So there's your women and men interaction. You got Shayna Baszler choking out Rey Mysterio. And then Nia Jax and Otis squash Rey Mysterio. And I died at that too. I don't think I should have laughed at that, but I found that to be funny. I found that to be really, really funny. And then when everyone goes away, Otis and Nia stare down at each other. Dana Brooke throws something at Nia Jax. So Nia Jax throws Dana Brooke into a vending machine. And then Nia Jax power bombs Carmella through the tray of food. So Carmella is done right there. She doesn't come back from the match. You see a janitor mopping the floor, and Asuka runs into the janitor, and she's asking, "Where's the roof? Where's the roof?" So the women come, and Asuka throws the mop at Shayna Baszler. And Asuka's running away. Nia Jax and Lacey Evans are with her. And this was dumb. I found this part to be very dumb. You got Asuka throwing the mop at Nia Jax, at Shayna Baszler, Lacey Evans, and Nia Jax. Instead of going to chase Asuka, they check to see if Shayna Baszler's okay. I found that part to be very, very stupid. I don't know about you guys, but I found that to be a very stupid spot. So then, Otis, this was before the women's spot I just talked about. We see Otis in the cafeteria, it seems like. He sees a plate of food. He goes, "Ooh, pie." So I laughed there. And then up comes People Power. John Laurinaitis comes out of nowhere. He says, "People Power," smiles, and Otis throws the pie at John Laurinaitis' face. And then we get to Shayna, Asuka, Lacey Evans, and Nia Jax in the hallway. Asuka kicks Shayna in the face. Lacey Evans gives Shayna a women's right. And then Nia Jax throws Shayna into the wall. And unfortunately, that's it for Shayna Baszler. She's done for the match. So then we get to the ring. Asuka is setting up a ladder. Lacey Evans comes to interfere. And Nia Jax pushes the ladder down. She grabs Lacey Evans. She gives her a very sloppy power body slam. And just throws her out to the ring. Nia Jax is garbage in the ring. That's a reminder. She then goes to grab the ladder. Asuka stops her. And she's climbing the ladder. Lacey Evans comes up behind Asuka. Asuka kicks Lacey Evans off the ladder into Nia Jax. And then out comes King Corbin. King Corbin is on the other side. He says, stop, you can't do this. I don't know why King Corbin said that. He looked very, very dumb while saying that. King Corbin looks stupid in this spot as well. So, Asuka kicks King Corbin off the ladder, unhooks the women's Money in the Bank briefcase, and Asuka is Miss Money in the Bank. Let's finish the rest of the match. So then, Otis comes out of the ring of nowhere, steps on the rum, and the rum breaks. And then King Corbin comes in, and he takes out Otis. Then the rest of the field starts to come in. Aleister Black and Rey Mysterio come. They start to get at it with Corbin, and then eventually Bryan and AJ Styles comes. This was the spot that everybody was talking about. We knew that somebody was going to get thrown off of Titan Tower. We knew it was coming. They've teased it for weeks, and it sure did happen. It happened tonight. King Corbin throws Rey Mysterio off the top of the roof. Rey Mysterio is gone for the match. Aleister Black, he got thrown off the top of the roof. Aleister Black is gone for the match. And then AJ Styles, first AJ Styles gives Otis a phenomenal forearm, and King Corbin throws Bryan into the ring post. So Bryan's done for the match there. You got AJ Styles and Baron Corbin on top of the ladder, fighting off the briefcase. AJ Styles grabs the briefcase. Corbin's holding on to it. They're saying, it's mine, it's mine. Out comes Elias. Elias comes up behind King Corbin, smacks the guitar on King Corbin. King Corbin drops the briefcase. AJ Styles fumbles around with the briefcase. Otis catches the Money in the Bank briefcase, and Otis is Mr. Money in the Bank. Yes, let me say that again. Otis, my boy Otis, is Money in the Bank. I was shocked beyond belief that Otis won the men's Money in the Bank out of anyone besides Rey Mysterio. I did not expect Otis to win the men's Money in the Bank match. Very, very unexpected. But let's talk about it. I just set up Otis, so let's talk about it. I love Otis. Otis is probably the most over act on SmackDown. You got him and Mandy Rose in a rivalry with Dolph Ziggler and Sonya Deville. But I love Otis. I said that. I think Otis is great. Otis has so much charisma, but at the end of the day, Otis is not a main eventer. How is the Money in the Bank briefcase going to fit how's the Money in the Bank briefcase going to be involved in this storyline with himself, Mandy, Dolph, and Sonya Deville? It really doesn't make sense if you think about it. I really don't know what they're going to do with the briefcase in this storyline. That's number one. Number two, Otis is a tag team wrestler. In case you didn't know, Otis is in a tag team called Heavy Machinery with Tucker. Well, after tonight, you might as well kiss that tag team goodbye, because it seems like Otis is officially a single star. Who knows where Tucker is? He's probably in catering for the rest of his life. And third and finally, I don't see Otis cashing in successfully for the World Championship. I just don't see it happening. I don't think Vince McMahon is going to pull the trigger on having Otis cash in on the Universal Championship. I just brought up Tucker. I can see Tucker costing Otis the cash in. And that's how Heavy Machinery officially breaks up, with Tucker costing Otis the cash in and starting a rivalry between Tucker and Otis. So that's that with Otis and winning Money in the Bank. Let's talk about Asuka. I'm not a fan of Asuka winning Money in the Bank. I'm really not. She's been really good in the empty arena shows. Heck, she might be the MVP of empty arena shows in WWE. But should have Asuka won that women's Money in the Bank? No. It's too little too late for Asuka, if you ask me. She had her match against Becky Lynch at Royal Rumble, and she lost. Then she faced Becky Lynch again, and that was the night Shayna Baszler debuted. She faced Becky Lynch again and lost. So in 2020, she's 0-2 against Becky Lynch. And now, Asuka, it seems like she's no longer in a tag team with Kairi Sane. It seems like Kairi Sane is written off television because she's leaving WWE. So then, Asuka, seems like she's going into a feud with Becky Lynch, because it's promoted on Monday Night Raw that Becky Lynch is going to call out the winner of the Women's Money in the Bank. So it seems like she's calling out Asuka tomorrow night on Raw. And then, last but not least, we'll end it right here. This kills Shayna Baszler. If Shayna Baszler was not dead at WrestleMania, she's dead now. She is dead now. They built this woman up to be a murderer at the Elimination Chamber by winning the Elimination Chamber match in minutes. And then she goes into WrestleMania. She loses by fluke fashion to Becky Lynch. And then she loses this ladder match, which she ultimately should have won. She should have won the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match to make up for her losing at WrestleMania to Becky Lynch. And then you have Shayna take the championship from Becky Lynch. And this ultimately is going to set up a match at Backlash between Asuka and Becky Lynch. Because why would Becky Lynch be calling out the Money in the Bank winner tomorrow night on Raw? I don't know, man. This match was fantastic. Do not get me wrong. This ladder match was fantastic in my opinion. But I don't think Vince McMahon got the winners correct. He did not get the winners correct. And that's my Money in the Bank review for 2020. Overall, I thought this was a solid show. Not bad. A few bad things, but overall, I enjoyed myself tonight, and Money in the Bank was a solid pay-per-view. Thank you guys for joining me right here on the Big Fight Field channel. Subscribe right here to the channel. We'll be back this week with fresh content up on the channel. Like this video with a super kick. Comment down below what you thought of Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Follow me on Twitter at Colin_Joseph. Follow me on Instagram at Colin_Joseph. Follow Eddie on Twitter at Eddie Mullins515. And I'll be back right here on the Big Fight Field channel tomorrow night for your Monday Night Raw review. Guys, have a good night. Stay safe.